Hey, Shalom. I want to start by giving all honor and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Kakadash. Double honor to the elders and the apostles of Great Millstone who rule well and teach well, who taught me this truth through the Holy Spirit, and Shalom to the elect. You brothers and sisters out there listening and learning, Lord, will we be part of that number? All right, I'm going to get into a little bit of this Venezuela incident, and I've talked about it before. I talked about it a few times. I got a few videos up. We'll get into the same things, okay? Because, nothing is going to change regarding prophecy. Prophecy stays the same, okay? But, what's happening is that, the Scopeo, okay, the people are starting to look at who the true problems are in this world. Okay, and it's a beautiful thing. And this is from JeffRents.com. I don't know if any of y'all know about JeffRents.com, but Jeff Rents, this is one of the old conspiracy sites. Okay, and they do have a lot of information on here, for those that need to brush up on, different topics, different world events. Okay, this site does have a lot of information regarding that. Okay, and it also doesn't shy away from speaking on the tiny tops, okay, the big noses, the small hats. Okay, I'm gonna look at some of these headlines, and we may get into some of the articles. Okay, but let's just look at a couple of headlines. Okay, and what you'll see here, right? It'll tell you, right? This is one of the headlines. Okay, it says, Uber Zionist, Israeli servant, Antichrist Trump's diabolical lies on Christian Maduro's kidnapping and fake war on CIA-controlled narco-terrorists. Okay, so the first thing we see here is what? Zionist. Okay, Zionist is what? Somebody that aligns themselves, okay, with the Zionist state of Israel. Okay, and this is the fact of the matter here. Okay, all the world is starting to come into the crux of the problem. Okay, the next article, it says Israel ordered Trump to invade in Venezuela because it didn't like Chavez or Maduro. Okay, it says the U.S. kidnapped Maduro because the world is run by unaccountable tyrants and terrorists who are often controlled by Zionism. Okay? So prophecy is happening. Okay? Prophecy is definitely going forth just like the Lord said it was. Wow. Let's see this right here. This is the book of Jeremiah 50. And I'll go to I'll go right to the point, okay? Because there's some other scriptures I want to bring. It says, therefore, hear ye the counsel of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, right? And I'll read it in the Amplified. Therefore, hear the plan of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, which he has devised against Babylon, and hear what he has purposed against the inhabitants of the land of the Chaldeans. Surely they will be dragged away, even the little ones of the flock. Surely he will make their habitations desolate with them. Okay, so the Lord's plan against Babylon, okay, is to use Israel, the Israelis, the Amalekites, okay, to bring on the destruction of Babylon. And surely this is what's taking place. Okay, surely this is what's taking place. Because if we look at all these articles and headlines, okay, it all goes into Trump, being a servant of the Zionists. Okay, matter of fact, let's look at MAGA turns on the Israelis. Let's look at what it says. This is from Google AI. It said a rupture over Israel is tearing the MAGA movement apart, with growing isolationists and populist wings openly criticizing Israel's actions in Gaza and long-standing U.S. support for the country. Okay, this represents a significant shift from the movement's traditionally staunch pro-Israeli stance. Okay, so usually the sentiment about the Israelis is that, they are basically a tag team with America, right? That's America's, ally, trusted ally, that they all both have each other's best interests at hand. Okay, but clearly, that's not the sentiment any longer. Okay, the sentiment in America is now being changed to what? America is doing everything for the Israelis and nothing for their own people. Okay, an average American Joe is ready to abandon the Israelis. Okay, and this is a beautiful point in prophecy. Okay, because we know what the scriptures say. Okay, let's get this. This is the book of Job, chapter 20. And 19. Okay, it says, because he have oppressed and have forsaken the poor. Okay, and these are the judgments going into Esau Edom for the things that he's done. Okay, for a lot of people in the world, talking bad on the Israelites. Okay, what you're actually doing is you're talking bad on justice and judgment. Okay, and this man has to pay for what he's done. Okay, the whole world, is crying out, right? The scriptures say the righteous and the innocent blood cry. But we're to the point where the whole world is crying out. And we'll see why here shortly. Let me finish reading this. It says, because he have oppressed and have forsaken the poor. Okay, and America is, America is damn near number one at this. Okay, along with the Israelis. Okay, and this is why they have so many problems with immigration. Okay, because they've oppressed the whole world, right? They've colonized the whole world. They've gone into Ethiopia. Okay, they've gone into Australia. You name it, they've been there. Okay, and they oppressed the whole world, and this is why people are flocking to, the white man's lands. Okay, because Esau Edom has destroyed everything and took it all, right? He oppressed and he forsake the poor, because he have violently taken away a house which he builded not. Surely he shall not feel quietness in his belly. He shall not save of that which he desired. There shall none of his meat be left. There shall no man look for his goods. And this is the point right here. In the fullness of his sufficiency, he shall be in straits. Okay, and this is what we're seeing here now. Okay, Esau has gotten to basically the fullness of his sufficiency. Right, he has all the different apparatuses set up, whether it be AI, okay, whether it be his new banking system, whether it be the beast system, whether it be his 15-minute cities, okay, his vaccine program. Okay, this man is in the fullness of his sufficiency. Okay, and this is why you're seeing straits come upon him. Okay, and this is a clear sign that we're at the end of Esau Edom. Okay, because there's nothing basically left for him to do. Right, I was going to bring this out, and I didn't bring it out because You know, I didn't know for sure whether Google changed this, but I'll look it up. Right? It says countries without a central bank. Okay, and they'll sit up here and skirt around it. But let's see what we can find out. Okay, it says this is from Wikimedia comments. Okay, and I've never seen this before, you know, but we'll look at it real quick. It says countries without a Rothschild's bank. Okay, here you have Abkhazia, Cuba, Iran, Sudan, North Korea, Russia, Bolivia, Syria, and the Vatican City. Now, Venezuela is not on this list. Okay, but I believe Venezuela doesn't. Let's check. A central bank. So Venezuela has a central bank, but not controlled by the Rothschild's banking system. Okay, so these devils are basically taking the countries to war that doesn't have a central bank. Okay, and this is why you see these lists countries, you know, that are always at odds with the system. Okay, because this devil is ready, you know, to take over. Okay, and the fullness of his sufficiency, right? It says that he shall be in straits. Let's get it again. What was that? Job, the 20th chapter. So it's only going to get tough for everybody here on out. Okay, because this man, you know, it said up earlier, right, the things that he is labor for, right, you know, he's not going to be able to keep, right? I'll read it again. Surely he shall not feel quietness in his belly, and he shall not save of that which he desired. And this is why it's going to get wicked out here. Okay, because this devil is going to lose control, man. Okay? This house of cards is going to come crashing down. Okay? Why? Because we're in the fullness of his sufficiency. Okay? And everything's getting harder for him. And eventually, every hand of the wicked shall come upon him. Okay? And this is what we're seeing. The whole world is rising up against, okay, the small hat, the Israeli. Okay, and they're questioning everything about him. Okay, he's under scrutiny to a level which he can't sustain, man. Okay, this man can't sustain the level of scrutiny that he's under, and he's in straits. Okay. And this signals that we're at the end of this thing. Okay. The book of Matthew, the 24th chapter. Okay. The 4th verse. Okay. It says, and Yahweh shall answer and say unto them, take heed that no man deceive you. And this is what's been coming out a lot lately. Okay. A lot of deception. Whether it be these other camps, whether it be AI, whether it be the regular news, okay, everything that you're seeing is a full-on deception movement, okay? Because we're in these last days, it says, for many shall come in my name, saying, I am anointed, and shall deceive many. Okay, and we've already seen that. Okay, these Christians, you know, there's many of these Christians. okay, claiming to be, the bride of Yahweh Shai. The Christian church did away with his people. Hey, they've deceived many people. Okay, and you shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. Okay, and this is what it's going to be. Okay, from here on out, there's going to be nothing but wars and rumors of wars. And that's happened since Esau has taken, control. And we've been in the last days since Esau has taken control. Okay, we've been in the last days since the times of the Greek period. Okay? But expect nothing else but wars and rumors of war. Okay? See that ye be not troubled, for all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet. For nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom, and there shall be famines and pestilences and earthquakes in diverse places. All these are the beginnings of sorrow. Okay? Because when these 1948ers, these tiny tops, okay, they've already started it. Okay, in America. Okay, the EBT crisis we had a couple months ago. Don't think that this is just some coincidence. No, this is because people are talking up against Israel, but the Israelis. Okay, and these people got the power and authority to cut these systems, man. Okay, Amalek was gonna be the head of the nations, and he is. Okay, and he has the authority to shut down America. Okay, and these people are seeing it, man. Okay, they're seeing it. They're seeing that their elected officials, they don't have any power. Really, they serve no purpose. Okay, and they're about to be taken out of the way as well, man. Okay, because the system that Esau is preparing to build, okay, this new world order, dystopian, tyrannical system, doesn't need an elective government. Okay, they have artificial intelligent government prepared for you. Okay, to make the right decision every time, so they say. Okay, but this is where we're at, man. Okay, the beginning of sorrows. All right, and it's only going to get worse. Okay, it's only going to get worse. But it's all because, these tiny tops are being, the scopeo, the scope is being put on them. All right. Let's look at this right here. Let's look at a couple more headlines. It says Trump brutally mocked after receiving the Israel Award, called Israel's Employee of the Year. Okay. So America, is in shambles. Cause this prophecy right here. Let me see if I can get it. It's bear with me. I don't know why I'm having such a trouble. Let's just Google it. So America is losing basically all, they're losing all the respect that they once had. Okay, because they're being, tied to these 1948ers. Okay, they're being figured out that, these people aren't two separate countries. No, this is one country, with the people who aren't even elected, okay, are actually running it, man. Okay? This is the book of Psalms 50 and 18. When thou sawest a thief, then thou consentest with him. Matter of fact, let me read up a little here. The 16th verse. It says, but unto the wicked, Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai saith, what hast thou to do to declare my statutes? And this is what's happening to Esau in the public stage. Okay, you got the Israelites on the highways and hedges calling out the rest of these nations, telling them they have no take or stake in the deliverance, okay, or the salvation of Israel, right? What did y'all do to declare the statutes of the Lord? When it was your time, you didn't do nothing to uphold it, right? This is what the Lord is saying. Or that thou shouldest take my covenant in thy mouth, seeing thou hatest instruction. Okay? And that ties clearly into these Israelis, okay, who are known pedophiles, right? Just a couple years back, they've been known, they had a tunnel, okay, in New York where they're stealing children. Okay, these people are known for stealing land, lying about the Holocaust. Okay? And America is tied right in with them. Okay? And this is just accelerating the downfall. Okay? It says, seeing thou hatest instruction and casteth my words behind thee. And this is another strike against Amalek. Okay? Because he can say a lot of things. Right? But when we go into prophecy, you know, where it says that Israel shall dwell alone, you know, how Israel will be keeping the commandments. Okay, these people don't fit that. But they do fit this. Okay? They do fit the role of the wicked. Okay? And this is the point here. When thou sawest a thief, then thou consentest with him, and has been partakers with adulterers. Okay? And America is being dragged into this by the Amalekites. Okay, the least of the flock. Okay, and it's only going to get worse. Okay, it says, thou givest thy mouth to evil, and thy tongue framest deceit. Okay, and this is what we're all under, you know, from the time we go to bed until the time we wake up. Okay, we're all under a big cloud of wickedness and deceit, a big a cloud of witchcraft. Okay, that's been cast over all the people, but they're all waking up now, okay, because of the words of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai in the mouths of the prophets. Okay, it says, thou givest thy mouth to evil, and thy tongue framest deceit. Thou sittest and speakest against thy brother, and slanderest thy own mother's son. These things hast thou done, and I kept silence. Thou thoughtest that I was altogether such as one of thyself, but I will reprove thee and set them in order before thy eyes. Okay, and this is what the Lord is doing. Okay, he's getting it all together. All right, we're almost out of here. Okay, we know there's war, okay, in Venezuela. You know, there's more to it. Okay, but basically it's for resources like everything else. Okay, these devils want resources. They want land. Okay, there's nothing that they don't want. Okay, but you know, there's gonna be, you know, further regional wars here. Okay, it's gonna be more wars and rumors of wars, and it's only gonna get worse. Okay, so stay prayed up. You know, stay, you know, in tune with the spirit. Okay, do your best, man, because right now is, you know, it's a dangerous time. Okay, because this devil is pulling out all the stops, man. Okay, and it's not gonna get any easier, you know, in the times that we're coming in. Okay, because this man is, you know, speaking on the so-called white man. Hey, he's in straits right now. Okay, and he has no choice but to lash out, and this is what he's gonna do. Okay, so, you know, be protected. Okay, the only protection that we have is Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai, so use it. Okay, I'm gonna end it right there. Lord's will, you was edified. I ended by giving all honor and glory to Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai, B'Shem Rakakwadash. Shalom.